All right, welcome everyone. It's Rob. Hope you're having a great day. Let's make sure you can all hear me. If you would please type the number one in the chat box, let me know that you can. Thanks, Jeff. Hey, morning, Helen. All right, thanks, Lee. Morning, Stephanie. Hey, John. Afternoon. Good, Jim. Glad you are having a great day. Kevin. Afternoon. Afternoon, Erica. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Stephanie. Oh man. A lot of comments in. I'm not seeing them all, guys. They're going by pretty quick. But I do appreciate y'all jumping in. Let me know that you can hear me. Let's see if we can't get you to see me. Where is it? Let's move that over there. Let's put that back there. A little bit of that in between. Boom. There we go. It is that time of year. Short sleeves are back, right? Or at least I want it to be that time of year. How about that? It is a fairly nice day outside today. Yesterday was gorgeous. Record high of like 68 degrees in New York City yesterday. So we're not that far off. We were, I think, 66 or 7 I saw in my car yesterday. So we got there. Nice in DC as well. Yeah, not in California, right? At least parts of it. 5 feet of snow. Come on. Are you crazy? 5 feet of snow. Oh my goodness. All right, excellent, good. So as we do get started here, keep in mind everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance before ever taking on that trade, that setup, or that indicator. All right, so a lot of happenings this week. We got Inner Circle coming up tonight. Mastermind is tomorrow. It's not quarterly though. It's just regular mastermind. Mastering the Trade is coming up on the 6th. That is for everybody that is in power option plays. You'll automatically be registered. We're going to announce the recording schedule in there, at least the start of the recording schedule. And then Trading You coming up on the 11th. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook are on the regular schedule. Spread Spectrum is Brandon Wendell. Those are on the 6th and the 13th. I think there might be one more as well. Pop, cover, call, email, you're all on the regular schedule this week. Here's our follow us page. Pick a topic, any topic or a platform, right? We got plenty of content going out across each of them. You're going to see a lot more even coming out. We're ramping up. I mean, we've got a new person on now that has been spitting out a couple of different blog posts a day for us. So based on my content and the things that I'm sending to them. So we're doing really good with all of our content. So make sure you're checking it out. Here's our Trading Boss Manifesto. This is what it means to me, to us as a company, what we believe it is for you to be a trading boss. Right? You can download this on robertjroy.com. You can download this on Trading Like a Boss. You can download this on wealthbuildershq.com. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Jennifer. It is good to have a social media person. We actually have two different people working on social media, but she's focusing very heavily on some of the main aspects of it. Lee just dropped a link to that document that you can download right there, guys. So go ahead and check it out. Right there's Brandon's training coming up. Right, discover the world of intra-market spreads called the spread spectrum. It's going to show you how you could trade corn against, I don't know, wheat, or how you could trade corn against oil, or how you could trade one lumber against wheat or oil or corn or any other market. It's an intra-market spreads that Brandon goes ahead and puts out there. And the man doesn't stop. My cell phone went off last night. I heard the ding, which is my text message alert. And let me get past all the messages from today. Let's see. That was different one. Oh, there we go. Wealth with spreads. We got a bunch came across at 11:36 this morning. But last night at 9:41 p.m., first message says all alerts are for education. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different spread trade setups that Brandon sent out last night at 9:41 on a Sunday evening. All right. Just about 24/7. Brandon must be sitting with the phone by his ear listening for it to send it out to you guys. But that's how committed he is. So make sure you check out his free training he's doing on that. Oh, I don't want to share that yet. What trades have you all done? Drop them in. Let's see the trades that you guys put on. Could be today, could be last week. That's okay. Drop in the trades that you have done. Let me know what it is. Remember, this is all about accountability. That's what it is. It's all it is. It's accountability. It's jumping out there saying, ooh, look at me, look at me. See, I'm doing this and that. All right. Okay. So we got coming in there. So Trip said IWM scalp. Really, Trip? 95.8. Let's get it right, Rob. 95.8% rate of return in 19 minutes. 95.8% rate of return in 19 minutes. Trip, great job. Erica said AMD at 49%. I like AMD better than Roku now. There you go. Jennifer said today's still an AMD trade, a call trade, but down 950 at the moment. All right. Yep, you got a lot of thumbs up there, Trip. Oh, nice trade, COVID guy. Wow. Okay, Stephanie. Let's see. John said Wheel of Fortune Beyond, DFS, naked puts on GTLB, cash flow $1,200. That seems to be John's motto. Is that $1 to $2 grand a week? Roby, CSPs on TQQQ, TSLL, and TNA from last week. Good job there, Roby. Good to see you, my friend. Yep, PK. Trip hit it hard. Yeah. Jim said, yeah, 95% way to go. Lots of sideways seams today. Jennifer, yeah, it's just there wasn't a lot. I mean, I didn't get a whole lot off today. Actually, I didn't get anything off today. Look, I'm going to show you the pivot trades sideways. You know, we were so far up on so many stocks, we pulled back, right? Which is okay. I'm good with that. That actually aligns well with today's topic. Yeah, John owns the Wheel of Fortune. There's no question about that, PK. He does an amazing job with it. Yeah, there you go, Brenda. I get it. Yippee. Bitcoin is doing great. No kidding, baby. I watched someone today, and I kind of agree, and we'll do an analysis. Maybe we'll pick one topic one of the weeks, and we'll pick a topic. We'll pick a week. We'll get into a chart of Bitcoin. But I watched an analyst today on CNBC say, yeah, I think it's going to come down a little bit. And Joe Kernan, back down to 20,000. You know, it's like, so no, I don't think it's going that far. I think we'll get back down to 40, but at the end of the year, it's going to be really high. I didn't hear a number out of her. I'm still thinking we can get back to that. I'm still thinking we can hit that $100,000. I think it's kind of let's hit the 5,000 on the NASDAQ. I mean, on the S&P, let's hit the $150 oil price. I think it's kind of that we're going to do it and then back off from it. But we hit 100 grand, I will definitely be selling some of my Bitcoin without a doubt, right? But we'll get into that a little bit in another week. I'm glad listening to you and stayed in. Yeah, there you go, Eric. I'm not out. I haven't sold a penny of it. Of what we have, you know, there's a lot, guys. There's a lot of ways to do this. You don't need to go get fancy wallets and deal with 5 different companies. If you're okay with giving a little bit up in premium, and in other words, just making a little bit less because of the way they charge, I've got mine over with Robinhood. It's the easiest thing in the world. This is how much I want to put into Bitcoin. Go, done. It's that simple. There is no transfer from cash to crypto. Nope, done. Just done. That's it, done. That's it, right? And then you could use it from there if you do need to buy something with the crypto. You can use it right from there as well. I have done that. I've paid for some services with Bitcoin in the past. So, because that's all they took was Bitcoin. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Robinhood's an easy one, but you can use anybody you choose. I don't care. Use Coinbase, use anybody you want, right? That's okay with me. I'm fine with that. All right. So here's Amelia's trade from Trade Watch Alerts, and this is from today. Okay. So let me see, where's my drawing tools? So right here, Disa candle, right? She bought the 145 calls, right, on UPS. She did 5 of them, actually sold 5 of them. No, she bought five. My bad. It's just upside down. Time-wise. So plus five down here. So she bought five of them at $4.10. And she did that at 9:34 this morning. We rose up, we rose up, we rose up, we rose up. On this candle, Amelia's watching fibs and some of the related indicators that she uses in Trade Watch alerts. And she pulled the trigger at 23 minutes into the trade, 14.5% rate of return. She's got 60 cents in there. So we did one contract, you're up $60. Okay, not too shabby. You're up $60 on one contract. So six, it's like she said, 14.5%. She did five. That's $300. For some of you, I'm not saying all of you, for some of you, that's your day's income. All right. If you're able to do something like this consistently, get to that point, think of what the possibilities are. And I promise you, once you learn how to do it, it's not like you're going to stop and say, well, I made my 300 today, I'm done. No, that goes away real fast, right? You trade the right trades, the right setups, you take whatever's available or whatever becomes available from it. Brendan said, yeah, but which one do we buy for trading Bitcoin? Bitcoin. If you mean as far as the ETFs, I haven't dug into the ETFs on them. I'm talking about the actual coin itself. See, if you don't want to play with the ETFs, I don't want to look at what percentage the offset is and all of that in there. You just go to Robinhood and go buy BTC, boom, and then done, right? Just buy Bitcoin itself on Robinhood instead of the ETFs if you want, if you're so inclined. Bitcoin, Ethereum. Listen, my thought process is this. I'm waiting for certain pullbacks in Ethereum to add to the position. Here's why. The ETFs are out on Bitcoin already. I think they are going to come up with some ETFs on Ethereum will be next. The announcement of that, I think, gives us a 20, 30% jump just on that alone. Now, could I be wrong? Yes, it's happened before. Ask my wife. She will announce or give you every single date and time and what the precise thing was that I was wrong about. All right? I promise you she can. Okay? So have I been wrong before? Without a doubt. This is my plan. You have to come up with your plan of what you're looking to do. Right? And remember, this is not, you can't look at that and say, well, that's what Rob's doing for Bitcoin. That's one piece of my portfolio. That's all that is. That's not the options or the stocks or anything else that are in, the longer term holdings, the ETFs. That's none of that. That's none of that. That's a very small portion of what I do. Is one thing is what I'm looking to do just on Ethereum. Okay, waiting for the pullbacks, get the bounce, add to the position, add to my portfolio. Okay, so don't look at that and say I'm going to put all my money into Bitcoin. I did some stint where I did some teaching for a company. It was a 3-day event. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 3-day event. Day one, we're in there, we're teaching, and we have round tables. There's about 8 people at each table. Table right in front of me. There's a guy sitting at that table, and I start the event off. I don't even go into my normal spiel. And I started the event off. Did y'all see what happened with Bitcoin? It's up like $8,000 today. It went from 10 to 19 or something like that, 11 to 19,000. And the guy for the whole morning, here it was. He just, when I went around to introduce myself, he goes, hey, and he's back on his phone. His entire portfolio is in Bitcoin. And the entire weekend, as I'm teaching, you can see the emotions happening over and over again as he's watching his entire 401k, which it wasn't, I don't mean this in a bad way. It's not like he had millions of dollars in there. He had less than 20 grand, but that's all he had. That was his life inside of Bitcoin. If he held on to it today, is he doing okay? He is, without a doubt. But that emotion of that, that roller coaster that he rode that day was interesting. Yeah, exactly. Yikes, crazy, without a doubt. Yeah, remind me after for that, Stephanie. Sure. I can look at that. Let's see. As far as I know, they are, Jennifer. Haley, can you take a look at Jennifer's question there and see if you can get an answer from Amelia? All right. So for me today, nada. Right? I'm pretty good. My Russian is pretty good, right? Nada freaking dingsky. Nothing. Okay? Nada freaking dingsky today as far as new trades added. I've got some that I am watching for what's going on. As an example, Home Depot. Okay, we got the pullback to this 381 level. I'm waiting to see if we can get a bounce off of there. Right? Is it an ideal trade setup? Nope. It's really the only one I got out there that I like at all. All right. When we look at covered calls, um, where? I, I don't have the paper in here. It's inside. Sorry. The one I was looking at from some covered call. Darn. They all came off of the covered call watch list. Find it. There we go. So ASPN, I like to pull back to the 8. Beam, BEAM, I like to pull back to the 8. And Cleveland Cliffs, I like that we're pulling back towards the 8. I've traded CLF many times in the past. Okay, so these are ones that I'm going to be looking at for not today. I need to see closes and bounces tomorrow. So there's 3 potentials for you for tomorrow. Okay, for those guys. What I do have though is last week we took an Amazon trade last week. Let's talk about this Amazon trade. I'm just kind of setting it up. Just want to go over, step by step. So I don't want to just unveil everything yet. So we entered Amazon on the 22nd of February, okay? Which was here. So was it an ideal entry for me? Absolutely not. We gapped up. We had an order in place. You can't be there to watch the open of the market. You put your order in the night before, the morning of, whatever it is. It's a market order. Fill me at the next available price. It gapped. And we got filled on the open, which was at 171 and a quarter. And we wound up on the same day, Feb 22nd, we got out of our first exit. Now we did 10 contracts, we took it bullish. Okay. So we got out of our first exit at 173. It's really supposed to be in a quarter. So we got a $2 move in there so far. We're up about $600 on this trade. Really not a big deal yet. Okay. Well, then Friday came and we smashed right into that fib line, which is 178 and 3/4, we'll call it. So right about 177 and 3/4 would be our exit, right? And that was on Friday, which was on 3/1, right? So what that did is we've now sold 7 contracts in our trade. And those 7 contracts of the 10 we're up $2,145 on the 7. Of course, everything's non-funded that we talk about, right? We're up $2,145 and we're only out of 7. I still have 3 contracts left in this trade. All right. So we still dip our toe in the water in power option plays. We look for the right places, for the right entries, for swings. It's got to be the right setup or else we'll just stick with the day trades. Day trades are working fine for us. We've done extremely well with them. Right. Yeah, it is awesome sauce. It was a good trade setup. Really good setup. And then these were the other 2 from last week. They were day trades. So Costco, we're up about 390. Wasn't a big move for us at all. Square, we did 20 contracts. We're up $2,700. It was a day trade. In, out, same day. Right? Very nice. Both of these were on the 27th, which was Tuesday of last week. All right? So that's me for right now as far as what we've got going on from a trade standpoint. And the biggest part of it, the biggest reason behind it is what's just happened on the S&P. So if I bring this back, so you can see the entire fib, I'm actually going to take the symbol grid down just so I can make it slightly bigger on the screen. All right. We watch what happens here. We made this move up, right? We locked in our fib. We got our pullback. Okay. So this is when the questions start coming in. I get a new fib drawn and the messages start pouring in. Rob, what do? We're at all-time highs right here. We're at all-time highs. How do I trade it? Okay. We're going to talk about how to trade the all-time highs in a little bit, right? But look at what's happened with the S&P. We've made this amazing move up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And then this Friday, it just passed, right? Scrunch there. Come on. Okay. All right. Just seems like it's pulled in a little bit further than I need to be. I had drawn a line at 5,100 and 5,111 and Jingle was the previous swing high. I put a blue box in there as a blue zone. We had a nice pullback. We bounced. The pullback, if you follow along on Pop, the pullback was poetic. It was like watching a symphony or a ballet. The setup was perfect. Everybody was in perfect step. All of the dancers moved together, standing on their tippy toes, right? It was a great move into this setup where we got our bounce here on Thursday of last week. We pushed up and, sorry about that. We pushed up and we closed just shy of the 5,100. Right? We came into the blue zone, which is exactly what I expected it to do. That's why the box is drawn there. Okay. Friday, we opened inside the box, retested the 5,100 and went just swoosh. Great move to the upside. And where do we close on Friday? We close exactly at 5137.08. We've got 5138.06. A lot of 6, 7s, and 8s in there. We're a dollar and a penny off of that, just shy of that line with a high that pierced through at 5139.63. So we're up by about $1.50 above that line with a high. So what did we do? We took our chipping hammer and we broke away at the ice. Yes, it's ice above us. You're in like water now. We chipped away at that 5138 level, 5138.06, and we're giving way for the next leg to break. And that's what I'm waiting for right now is that next leg up, right? If we could break that level to the upside, then we're looking at 5,200 as our next upside target. And where the biggest importance, the just massive importance in that level is not just the 5,100, the 5,200, not just the 52.1942, the fib line. They are important. They're very important. We can even blue zone those two, right? For, reaching up into and pulling back. But you see this diagonal trend line? Right? Now, if you notice, you're seeing on the screen 1, 2, 3, and up here we've got 4. Right? I'm going to go back little by little. Right? And I want everything, of course, to stay on screen, but I want you to see, let me hit escape. That's what it is. I want to hit escape. Right? Now, you need to understand where these lines came from. Okay? So this right here, we'll call this zone 1. Right? And I am going to do that. And I should not have done that yet. Okay. Well, that's okay. Watch. So we're going to call this one zone 2. We're going to call this one zone 3. And one more. Take a wild guess what we'll call that one. We'll call that one zone 4. So now let's go and do the lines. It's just easier. I can just hit the letter T to duplicate the same exact tool. I don't have to be clicking on things and so forth, right? All these zones that I am identifying here, let me move that over, but I don't like it to be at that convex there. All these zones that I'm identifying are the uptrend. That's all it is. Don't worry about my arrows being straight or the color being different. I don't give a damn. Means nothing. Okay? Means nothing. All right? So, we look at this. This was the zone 1. That's where everything started. Right in here. Do you see the blue lines on my diagonal trend lines? That's where I drew it from. When I start and finish the line, if I draw a diagonal trend line, watch. If I start here, oh, I let it go too soon. So if I start here and draw to here, you see the blue? Where my pencil point is? Watch, so I bring it over here now. See where all that's blue. If I let it go, the blue is where I started and finished on the trend line, right? I have mine set up that way. It's not hard to do. It's not a big deal, right? If you draw a line, open it up, right? No channels, extensions, both. I want it extending both ways. My normal color is blue and medium. My extension color is red and default, so it's a slightly thinner line. That's how I set it up. You can set it, of course, any way you choose. I will not squawk no matter what way you decide to set it up. It's okay. Okay. So we were in that first zone there, and then we kind of broke out and we were looking for, okay, where's it going to bottom out? And we came up in here and then we failed. And we bottomed out here and then we bottomed out here. So we had 4 different zones. Well, now look at the importance of zone 3, right? When we bounce in zone 3, right over where the word 3 is, or the number 3 is, I should say, right? We came off of 4 and we bounced, okay? We went sideways and then we gapped up on this day. That was on November 14th of last year. We gapped up. That gap up brought us into zone 3. And that was me literally shifting my hat around and saying, okay, we're ready to start making a move. So I went from a very boring position 1, literally having no interest at all in anything bullish. And we got that gap up, and I went from position 1 to position 3 almost immediately. Okay, we're ready to play now. And I want to see how we do on that 3. We made a move up, we retest, we bounce. We make a move up, we retest, we bounce. And that's where we get this failure, and we drew the new fib off of that failure that's inside of it. Okay? And the reason that I am so excited, I'm going to go back to an F2. So I'm going to zoom it in as much as I can there. That's the F2 stuff, right? Be quiet. Love-hate relationship with my phone today. So I'm going to scrunch this down a little bit. Now, when we made the pullback here and we had a confluence of the 8 and the fib line, go back and watch the previous pop videos I did. Go back and watch the Traders Market Intelligence Report, which comes out each and every Sunday. It's an email. If you're on our email list, you get it. Okay. In that report, there's a video where I go over the S&P 500. I look at the VIX. It's fairly short, 3 to 5 minutes long. I'm not trying to bore you over the weekend. Just hit it hard. Okay. As we got this pullback, when we got the gap up, I kept saying, all right, great. We're failing a little bit here. We're pulling back. I'd like it to take a couple of days. Mark my words. You will find it. I'd like it to take a couple of days, because then the 8 moving average will give us a confluence and we can take our bounce from there. And lo and behold, as if what I said became gospel, it bounces right off of that fib moving average combo, which we call, what do we call that? When you have a Fibonacci and a moving average together, what do we call that? What do I call that? There you go. Good. Quite a few of you got it. Good. It's confluence. Very good. A lot of you got it. It's confluence. Okay? We get a confluence. What if we just bounce off the moving average? Not that excited. What if we just bounce off the fib? I'm okay, but that's an aggressive trade. I really want both of them together to give me the best bounce. the best opportunities. And lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. It took a few days. Look, the stock is dropping, the moving average is going up. Why? Why is the moving average going up if the stock is dropping? Because it's an 8-day moving average. It's calculating the last 8 days, which includes that gap. So we're still getting the residual movement up on the moving average based on that bullish gap that we had in there. You don't have to understand all the mechanics behind the why. Just know that if you have a gap in a direction up, in this case, that your stock is going to continue to push up, barring some major movement. You get the gap up like this, your moving average is going to continue, your short term is going to continue to push up unless something happens, barring a move of the stock having a big gap down, right? That could easily flip it back around to where it was prior, or even worse, to the original gap. So because of that, we got to move up. Well, now I'd love to see us take, and I went through this whole rigmarole to tell you that I would love to see us take a few days to get there, so we get the moving average can pull up a little bit, okay? If the moving average can pull up, we get up to this level here. We're testing zone 2 now, right? I do not, so if I get a breakout, we're going to have a new decision to make. I don't expect a breakout. I expect that to be the failure point. I expect my breakout to come either here, you took the breakout already, or you're waiting for the 5138 as your breakout of the 5200, right? It gives you about 62-point move to the upside on the S&P. If you're looking here, that's your target, right? We just don't have the confluence of the 8 moving average and that fib line. If we meander around for 2 or 3 days, we will. And as much as I like the zone 2 line and the 100-point level, I really like it a lot better at this 52.1942 on the fib line. That is really where a confluence or a blue zone belongs, confluence belongs, rather, not on the 100-point level. I don't really trade them off there. I'll take it. It's a sign, but it's not the best strength to happen there. I much rather would have it happen at a fib line, right? So where do we go? 5200, 5219 is the upside. If we fail back to the 5138 at that point, depending on how long it's taken, my 8 moving average will be close in that proximity. Again, depending on how it's moved. It'll be in that proximity. We get a bounce, and there's our next leg up. You can continue to trade breakouts if that's who you are as a trader, then continue to take those breakouts. When you got the breakout on Friday, that was your entry. That was your signal of breakout just happened, go. We broke out of the recent swing high, which that blue line, that 5111, that's gone. When I do pop today, that'll be taken out. This blue zone, gone. It'll be taken out, right? Because I don't have that need any longer because those lines are not important for this move. Can there be if we back off, we look for previous swing highs on the way down? Yes, that's a whole different story. But I'm only identifying right now that recent swing high. I don't have one because we're still in that move phase. We don't have a retest yet or a pullback yet. Erica said, I'm trying not to be a breakout trader. Lord help me out. No, I understand, Erica. You know, it is for me difficult sometimes to sit and watch, which is why I developed 1, 2, 3. You know, I'm very much literally, this is me a good part of the day. If I'm trading, this is a good part of what I'm doing is sitting like this, right? There's a saying about idle hands, right? I don't remember the work of the devil or wicked or something. I don't know. You know, I remember my grandmother like this as a kid with idle hands, right? But to me, this is perfect, right? These idle hands don't let me do something stupid, right? Which is maybe let me try this one, right? It keeps me away from that garbage, right? It actually protects me from that, all right? So when we look at VIX, nothing to report here, folks. We're at 1341. Oh, but Rob, we're up 30 cents on the VIX. That means the S&P is down. So what? We're at all-time high area. Who cares? Who cares? Right? We're at 13.5 right now on VIX. Yes, we're low. So what if you go up a little bit? So what if you go down a little bit? It doesn't mean anything, right? So don't stress out too much over the VIX right now. All right. You start getting back to 16, 18. Okay, now we're getting some legs, right? We had a little scare there. Ooh, yeah, haha. Fake, head fake, right back where we were. I'm not worried about it right now. Again, barring something major happening, market shift, uh, sector collapse, a banking collapse, or just banking in general having a problem. I mean, not a collapse. Well, collapse would be bad. Bad news on a certain sector on earnings or something, a certain sector of the economy, the Fed saying, yes, we're going to raise rates again, things like that would be crazy, right? Um, there you go. Idle hands is the devil's workshop. Yeah. So I was, and two people in my life, major influences in my life, have used that phrase on me, right? My grandmother was one of them. Growing up, my parents were divorced, so we were at grandma's house, or grandma's at our house almost daily, right? Actually, as a very little boy, until she remarried, it was her house that we lived in. And she lived on the second floor. We lived on the first floor. So I would literally go up and down every day to see her. Right. And then so we had her in home with us for a long time. She was a major influence on me. And then as a young boy in school, I went to a Catholic grammar school. Um, Needed something to do. My mom said, try out for choir. I did. The choir master himself came over to me and asked me to please resign from choir. That shows you how well I sing. Okay. So then mom said, become an altar boy. I became an altar boy, stayed an altar boy until the end of my 10th grade in high school. The pastor that was in charge of the altar boys was an amazing man, just a phenomenal influence. And I know, people get sticky sometimes with, oh, but you're friends with the priest. And yeah, you want to play sports? This guy's going to kick the living crap out of you, right? Played blackball, handball, blackball, if any of you know what that is, right? He played no glove. You played with a paddle. And you played two of you against him. You couldn't beat him. He was ranked number 3 in the world. Okay. That was his saying. He had a house upstate New York in a place called Hogtown, New York. The closest building to his house was the Hogtown Inn. We used to walk there. You had to walk because he'd have a little bit of wine while we were there. So you had to walk back. He wouldn't drive us back. So it'd be dead of winter, right? No street lights. We're going by moonlight only, walking along the side of water when it's 10, 20, 30 degrees outside. And we would walk back. And when you're in his house, if he caught you, there's a TV there for emergency, right? But if he caught you with the TV on, you can count on 8 hours of wood chopping. That's what your job was if you were caught with the TV on. Go outside, go do something. Go hike, go into the mines, go in the wintertime, get on the snowmobiles. In the summertime, get on the water skis, get on the boat, go fish, go do something, right? That idle hands was a big thing with him. Yeah, I wish I could be in the choir. I like it. This doesn't work for me. My daughter did not get her singing from me. My father-in-law's family is very musical. All right. So Jim said, if you drew the fibs on, let me bring back the symbol break, which is easier for me to click on it instead of typing it. If you drew the fibs on the SPX from 4181, where is 4181 though, Jim? What got? Give me some dates. Jim, give me dates. Oh, these are the fib numbers. Why don't I see a 4103? I see a 4266. Oh, I got it. No dates. I understand that, but I don't see a 4181 fib line. I see a 4103 and a 4266. That's what I'm saying. I'm not seeing the number you're referring to. Sorry. 5168. I see 5138. I understand that is the fib number. 4,000. So you're talking about the 4181, the black line right here. Right. But okay, but I don't really have a point off of there. But okay, so if you draw from there, up to the 67, 65. 67? Yeah, Jim, I'm not. Okay, I got it. Now I understand what you're doing. Okay. Okay. I understand. All right. So let's go back and do it. Let's do this again. Let me uh well, what is it you're saying then? It'd be interesting to see if the SPX stalls around this area. Okay. So what Jim is saying is, Rob, what if we were to go ahead and draw a fib off of from the 4180? Now, I can't do it here. I got to scrunch down first. From the 4181. Wow. Okay. From the 4181, which is from here to here, up to the, I don't even remember the number because we're not there ever. 67, 65, right? He said it will be interesting to see if the SPX stalls around this area. Okay. So I just drew it. We drew off of this. So you can see the one is barely see it through the black line right here. Is here. So our numbers are kind of sticking out to the left a little bit. That's why I did it this way so you could see them. So what level are you thinking the stalling? Just at any of those levels? The 618 was 516809. Okay. So the 618 is right here. 51.6, I don't know, 51.67.67. I might be off a little bit on, I probably don't have the exact numbers. But what Jim is saying is this 51.68 level, he's wondering if we're going to see a stall there because of that. I've not really measured those this way, Jim, but very possibly, right? But I like that you're thinking outside of the box with it there, of how else can we analyze this? Let's see if I do the undo. He said, looks like it stalled at the 764. Well, and that's where we ran out of steam is that 764. That's the top of our fib line, almost to the penny. So without a doubt. So are there importances in there? Here's the thing. I've worked with the 4181s. I've worked with the midpoints. I haven't done fibs inside of them a lot to really get a good analysis of them, but I do like where you're going with it. Something to look out. Yeah, outside of the box thinking. Yep. That's it. You got it. All right. So let me bring us back into the manual. And let's talk about trading the S&Ps with all-time highs. And that's where we are, literally today, the all-time highs, right? We are there, right? I kind of alluded a little bit to it, and I was hard to not step into it on the analysis we did on the S&P 500. But, excuse me. I'm going to once again take the symbol grid down. I'm going to zoom in on it here. And I'm going to lay a couple of steps out of me. And this is Rob talking this out loud to Rob of what I am looking at and what I am waiting for. Right? Where Erica said before, I'm trying very hard to not be a breakout trader. I'm not saying that anybody shouldn't be a breakout trader. I know, one friend of mine, Brian, who's that was his whole gig for as long as I've known him. He was a breakout guy. He's really good at it. He tried to share with me the house. I just never got it. I can't look at it the same way. My fear of it's already broken out. Did I miss it? And it's going to pull back. And when you analyze it around fibs and the way I've done my testing, for my style, it doesn't work. We inevitably wind up getting our head handed to us over and over again. Now, would you have gotten your head handed to you on Friday? Heck no. Friday was a great breakout day, right? But how many times do you see a breakout where you break out and this line pops up a little bit and then you tap down, right? You break out, you're here, you break out the next day and you fail, okay? I'm normally on the wrong side of that. So what I look for is this. Let me get rid of the crosshairs just so I get rid of that extra lineage in there. I think we're okay. We'll use red. We'll use blue. So what I look for, and I made mention of it before, I said, notice we bounced off of here. We got a pullback. And I said, then we bounced. We got to pull back, then we bounce, pull back, bounce, pull back, bump, 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 bump. Okay. So this was the move that I talked about before, but I didn't talk about what I do with it. What I'm looking for is once the breakout happens, that's my entry signal. Entry into the S&P, it can be SPY, NASDAQ, QQQ, right? I don't really do the diamonds. I don't do a lot with IWM on ETFs. You can, right? Not that they're bad. I mean, that's what Tripp and these guys are trading in Inner Circle, right? Not that they're bad, but you get the breakouts, and that's your entries, right? Or possible entries. We failed here. We came and broke out on this candle, got back above our moving average. There's our entry. We failed. We got back above. There's an entry, right? Oh, but Rob, had I taken the trade here, I probably lost money here. I don't remember being the guy that said every time you take these trades, you're going to win. We call it trading, not winning. And there's a reason for it, because you don't just win. All right. That's part of your plan. You've got to build that into your plan that some of these trades will, not might, will go against you. Yes. You have to deal with that. So, okay. What if I did it this way? What if we said, as we got the bounce here, that's the entry, right? We got the bounce here, that's the entry, right? We got the bounce here, this was an entry, okay? We got the breakout into a bounce here, which was the entry. Got the bounce here is the entry. Here, after it broke above the moving average, is the entry. We got the gap up here, kind of hard to take that one, but we got the entry on this candle, actually, is right there. Had you followed along and did the SPY, how would you have done on this trade? Well, let's see. Do we got a green? We got a green. We have a green. Ka-ching, there's dollar signs. You made money. How about on this move here to here? No, you would have lost money. Let's make it red. Okay. You would have lost money on this one. Okay. How about on this one in here? Well, it looks like if you got in on the breakout, the next day, and you got out here, you would have made money, broke even maybe at best. Okay. The next one, you crushed it. The next one, you crushed it. The next one, you did okay. Let's just call it a break even, right? We'll put X. You lost some money in there, right? The one that's happening right now, you made money. All right. You had two go against you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your favor. Two go against you, which I really think one was a break even. One had gone against you, and 5 moved in your direction. Right. You need to look for all of this to say you need to look for pullbacks to key levels, not only on the S&P 500, but on any position that you're trading. Give me the pullback to a key level and a bounce, and that's where I'll consider the entry. But Rob, the stock broke out at 245, and now it's at 290 before it pulled back. It's already gone all this way. Unless there's a magical ceiling at 295 that says it can't go any higher, if the S&P is telling me we're going up, and I still like the mechanics of that stock, I like the chart, I like the pattern, then there's nothing wrong with saying I'm going to take a small entry in that trade. To me, of course, you have to be comfortable with it. And if you feel it's already had too big of a move, NVIDIA is the perfect example, right? I keep waiting for that sucker to pull back. And even on days like today, I can't get a damn pullback to save my freaking life, right? I mean, we had this pullback in here. Oh, let me cross that back. We had this pullback here. There was an entry. Great entry right there. We had this pullback and then the gap with earnings. Well, kind of hard. We had this pullback that kind of got close to the moving average, but not really. And then just takes off from there. Son of a right? $400 stock, $850 stock right now. Right? Insane. So I have not been able to add anything to a position long on NVIDIA because of that. Are there some intraday things you can do? Absolutely. But adding the shares to the portfolio? No. And I don't think they're done. I think NVIDIA easily blows through $1,000. I don't question it one bit. AI, baby. Sorry. If you ain't in it, right? If you ain't in it, AI is the wave of the future. Okay? AI is the wave of the future. Roby said he agrees, 1,005. See, there we go. So Erica said, so when would you buy shares of NVIDIA? I need a pullback to a key level, Erica, which for me, it has to pull back to a confluence area, moving average and fib. This is a Roman candle trade right now. Roman candles, if you know what they are, I'm looking to see if I have a prop to use. I don't. It's this long tube, about 16 inches long, about an inch in diameter. You hold it out here and you shake it. Tell you don't hold it here because the fire could back at you. You shake it out here and it shoots a ball of fire in the air, and then the piece that shot up just literally drops straight down. This is crap that winds up in your gutters and on your roofs and all that stuff for the 4th of July. Okay? That's because it goes straight up, it comes straight down. If the stock goes straight up, it tends to come straight down. I'd rather see the move up, the pullback, the move up, the pullback. There's strength in that market. The straight up in the air is not strength. You may get that on, Chat GPT, right, on AI, okay? Symbols. You may get that like as that stock comes out, a new product comes out, a new company gets announced, and you get this straight up in the air. That's okay, but it can't sustain that forever. It's impossible. It has to pull back, right? Right. Trader Will said, new industry trend with a mega CPU. Yeah, it's going to happen. Time to draw new fibs. So we're going to look at that tonight, Jim, in Pop to see if we're going to redraw them or not. It certainly meets the rule of closing above the negative 618. As long as so keep that in mind. Closing above the negative 618 does not mean we must draw immediately. Oh, it happened today. We have to draw today. We don't have to draw today. We have to draw when we get the right place to draw. So we have a place in here, probably off of this bottom and this top, right? And I'll measure it out tonight and we'll talk it out through Pop, right? And we'll draw from there and see how it lays out. As long as we have something like that, that's great. But if we never got this pullback in there and this just kind of kept doing this along the way to where it is now, even though we're at the negative 618, I wouldn't redraw anything because we don't really have a place. And I'm not referencing that to Jim or anybody else, just generally with breaking the negative 618, you want to make sure that there was a place to actually draw from on that. All right. Let's see if I missed anything else. You got it, Stephanie. Several pop stocks have zoomed and look like close to a rule to redraw. Yeah, we're in that phase right now, PK, without a doubt. All right, what symbols y'all want me to take a look at? Boy, Erica dropped them in already. Yeah, it might be, Jim. Might be the right place. I've got to see when we draw, when I do it tonight, we'll take a look. So let me bring up the symbol grid first. Let me go and look at all stocks, all symbols. BRK underscore B. You can do the BRK underscore A if you want, right? If you want to look at the A shares, you're welcome to. They're only $607,000 each share. So I'm not sure how many someone might want to buy, but that might be a little rich from my blood. But Stephanie's asking for the B shares. Okay. There's my fib on Berkshire B, Stephanie. Right? We just broke today on the actually, there it is. It was Friday. We broke Friday on the 8 moving average. Today we're down to a bullish neutral bias still. Get me back above the 8. Actually, I need to be above the 413. I love this stock. This has performed better for me than the SPY has. So I'm very pleased with Mapo on this. All right. So I hope that helps, Stephanie. Let me know. Erica's asking for Amazon. All right, so Amazon right now, we're sitting at that 178.67, also at that negative 618. We're going to be looking at that 185.62 as our next upside target. Breakout, retest, and bounce. Take the entry. If you're in the trade, 185.62 is your next target. That would be your next two contract exit, which will take you out of 9 of your contracts. So that 185 half, we're probably out about 184, 184 and a half, somewhere in that area. Right. And of course, you make that final decision as to the where. Okay. But that's Amazon. AMD. All right. As Erica said, AMD is doing amazing right now, better than Roku. We're moving 8.25 a day on average, 825 a day for the last 13 days, right? Just outstanding. Now, don't get me wrong, the last 3 or 4 days have been big, right? Why is AMD like this? Well, they're really going on in NVIDIA, okay? Several gaps up. Exactly, Jennifer. Yep, a lot of gaps up. So, we're going to probably look at this again tonight to redraw as well, because now not only did we break out within the last couple of days, we've exploded, right? So same thing, we probably have a new place to redraw in here, but I'm not going to do it here because we do it in Pomp. I'll bring it back next week and we can look at it again. But for right now, that 209, and I ain't even got nothing above there. We're going to put negative 1.618, which is still going to be too big. You're going to have to cut it in half. Right, because we've got 10 to 44, that's 34. Yeah, 16. So you got to split this level in half, Erica, on AMD. Netflix. Okay. Excuse me. So on Netflix, same scenario. I would like a slow pace move to the downside on this one, Erica. Very slow pace. Because I'd like the 8 to catch up and get the bounce off the 611. I got 625 as a resistance. 623-ish is going to be the target. Nice. Very nice opportunity. All right. I hope that helped, Erica. Will's asking for Crocs. So I've got a channel drawn on this one, Will. Let me just put this somewhere else. All right, so I can get more visibility on the screen. So I've got a channel on this one. Well, I don't have any fib. Even if you did draw a fib on it, you're above the 764 because we'd have it in here, right? So nothing great on that. The channel all came in from here, and it's worked well for us in the last couple of months even, as far as respecting these levels, right? So 129.80 is my next resistance on it. I hope that helps, Will. SPY, guys, we're not going to we may not make it through all the symbols. I'll do the best I can. Yeah, B is definitely cheaper, Stephanie, than the A shares are, a lot. There are farmers that go to his shareholder meeting for Berkshire, and they own one share of A. It's an entire portfolio of $600,000. And fully understand. So we're looking at SPY right now. No need to redraw fib yet at this point, but I like to bounce up that 511.72. We're looking at 519.75 resistance. So continue that move up, and that's where we're looking to go. Right? Or slow burn, get the 8 up to the 511, and then a pullback and a bounce. AMD already, Micron. MU, ooh, macro. Goodness gracious. Sorry, Trip, I ain't got nothing drawn on these. I haven't looked at Micron. Trip, you haven't brought this up in a while. We haven't used the words Trips Trio in forever. Let's see. So we definitely would have a fib in here, but that's already, violated. That's gone. All right, we're going to have another one over here. That's really where it should be. It's right there. That's already violated and gone. Oh, even better. We've got it right here. All right. So I really need to have this where I could see it easy. So this 564, we're looking at 92 to 96. We don't need to fib it in there. So we don't have a lot of room to the upside here. 98 from 96 and a half. So there's not a lot of room in there. I'd really like to see, Brenda, this one break out of that 98 first. But then we've got 100 right above that. right? And then 101. So there's an obstacle course along the way, and keep in mind what earnings are too. Got to check them, but 320 is where it shows right now. Paul is asking for IWM. Brenda, I hope that helped. Yeah, Scott said, man, I wish I invested in more shares of NVIDIA back when it was trading around 170. Yep. Yeah, exactly. You got it. I'm with you on that, my friend. So it's all the woulda, coulda, shouldas, right? So we're at $7, 205 to 215. We need to add a negative 136 in here. Do I need a 118? 96 to 5 is 5 and 4 is 9. Si, senor. So we need a negative 136 and a 118. Okay, so pull back to the 205, bounce. 210 and 3/4 is resistance. If we fail, yeah, nothing on the downside. I wouldn't switch back this. We don't have a lot of room. 203, 205. Yeah, I wouldn't take to the downside. Let's see. Trip said scalping instead of swinging. Cat in the room full of rocking chairs. Let's see. There's a message came up in the Q&A. Apple with Euro fine. Okay, Apple with the Euro fine. I'm getting a Euro fine for the European Union of 1.9 billion. And Kay with CEO asking for breakfast food for dinner. Yeah, so Apple is going to take a beating because of that, and you can see where they are right now, right? So this is definitely going to take a toll on what was already a bearish pattern in their setup. As far as K goes, I haven't looked at them with anything that if they got fined. I don't know. Let's see if they're still showing 3-1. Yeah, so they had the gap down. They're at this bottoming pattern right in here. So I'd watch this bottom here. Apple just needs to settle out. That news needs to go away, and Apple needs to get some other bullish news in there, William, for that, right? So hopefully that that helps. All right, everybody. Sorry if I didn't get to all of them. Appreciate you all being here. Thank you so much. Was it helpful? Did you get some good information out of it? Was the walkthrough good? The handling the trading at the higher levels, near the all-time highs? If there's a topic that you would like to see me teach on, don't wait for me to ask. Send an email to support. Lee, drop the email in. Send an email to support. Click on the link that Lee drops in right now. Send an email to support. Put the title in the subject as Power Hour topic. Send it in. We have a list that we keep, and we take topics off of there all the time of what you guys want us to teach. I'll be more than happy to do it. Don't ask me to do it here because I'm not looking at it. Ask it in the, I don't do it. My team puts it together for me. And when Wednesday comes and they say, what's our topic for Monday? Someone will say to me, Rob, we've got these on the list. Do you want to do one of these? Yes, let's do this one now. It's a great one for right now. Right? Excellent, everybody. Especially like the excellent spot. All right, cool. Good. All right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. See you all at our next update. Bye for now. Grab those links, and I'll talk to you soon.